Hey guys, it's Main here, back again with another IE review. Today we have, actually before we head into that, just want to mention someone's kitty being bumped around. Yeah, sorry, my cat, before the little video started here, she was sitting right at my feet and I didn't realize. I actually extended my leg and I like bumped her. She's purring now, she's fine, she's alright. Back to the actual account review. Today we have Paracunde's account. Before we get into that, just want to mention real quick, if you guys do want some help with your accounts, I currently pause the account reviews for the time being, but feel free to join the Discord. There's a bunch of tips and tricks we do have. Our community is pretty active, so you guys do have any questions, we're always there to answer that. I'm also pretty active in there, so if you do have any general questions about your account, feel free to reach out. We'll be able to provide that. We also have a forum where you guys can post your account, and people do respond, typically in kind, to any questions that people might have. I think the most recent addition, CN, earlier today, posted in there. Looks like there's 17 comments, so people are active in there, trying to help other people out. So again, feel free to join it. Link will be in the description. And it looks like everyone's saying hello YouTube in the comments here. So again, this is also done on stream. If you guys do want to join as well, the Discord, I do have announcements when I do go live, so you guys can join the community when that does happen. So anyways, moving on to the actual account review. Today we have Paracunde account. Looks like he or she is deep into World 6. It's doing sneaking relatively, got all the characters unlocked, pretty nicely progressing the Jade Emporium, so it looks like he's World 6 account. I don't know what exact map he's in. I can probably check the Death Note and see. So he's around Leak Spirits, that's where he's locked right now. So I imagine the issue right now is probably multi-kill, damage, not able to progress World 6 all too much. So let's go ahead and just dive into it, see what we can suggest to move on, and help him out with his account, with damage, with skilling, whatever he might need. See what we can sort of reorient his progress around and see what we can really boost the next sort of stage of his progression. So let's go ahead and move into it. Looks like all of his characters are around level 400. Did a little sneak peek. They're all level 400. Looks like he's generally around, he's got 2 Siege Breakers, he has 2 ESs, 2 Blood Berserkers, 1 Beastmaster, 1 DK, and 1 V-Man. Got it. And looking at tools, looks like, okay, right off the bat, I got a big problem with something here. But generally, your tools are actually pretty decently leveled. The only thing I want to mention is, why do you have Poopy Pickaxe equipped? This is really bad. The speed on this is really low. I'd recommend trying to upgrade this higher. Looks like generally the rest of your characters are pretty upgraded. I mean, this guy's in Kruk gear. You got Cheezor in Kruk gear, Void gear, Molten and Kruk. But this guy's back in Dementia and Cooking Clogs. So, I mean, don't neglect your second Blood Berserker here. Because, I mean, I imagine this is probably one of the characters you need to push World 6 pretty deep with. So upgrade your tools here. Get him more damage that he's able to push with your other characters. So if you're trying to push it, you'll be able to finish the Skydoggy's lock as well. The 9 lock there to progress the rest of World 6. So yeah, just upgrade your characters. Get better tools. Try to get them into Dreadlow tools if you really want to get a bunch of damage on them. Not necessarily a requirement, but I mean, it's a good goal to aim for if you want a lot of damage, because it does have a lot of slots. General efficiency for your tools gets you a bunch of resources there as well. Also, if you're looking for better capes, Cattle Croc is a better cape than this. I think gives you skill AFK gains, so you can definitely equip that for your character. Although I think you have Angel Wings? No, you don't have Angel Wings. So yeah, the Croc, yeah, tools are stat sticks, as you're saying in chat. But if you're looking for wings specifically, Cattle Croc does drop on his Nightmare variant those wings. And they're actually pretty good. So if you are able to, if you want to try to farm that out, you can. Apart from that, I think Cheezor's got some. Actually, I haven't gotten Cheezor, so I can't really tell you. But Gildan Ephon, he gives you skill efficiency. These wings right here, so you can do that as well if you're trying to look for skill efficiency. Apart from that, looks like your worship skulls, from what I can tell, are also lacking. So try to spend some of your salts as well as souls to try to upgrade that when you can. Again, more stat sticks, more damage and stuff. Yeah, and moving on to talents. I don't know what your max talent level is, but you're well over 200, so you're doing good there. Just remember to use your books for some of the skilling ones if you're struggling with skilling. So things like Smart Efficiency, Log on Logs, Untwisted Robes, and Deforesting Alt Doubt. For warriors, you know, Brute Efficiency. We went over this in previous videos with Big Pick is really huge. Cheezor's 8% total damage. Yeah, it's a nice damage increase. Anyways, back to the tools themselves. Big Pick does give you a bunch of skilling efficiency. When it's equipped, you'll basically 3x your prints pretty much very easily. If you do level this up and book it, equipping in your hotbar does count towards AFK gains, which again impacts your prints. Having this at a high level really boosts your mining efficiency. It gives you way higher prints, so definitely book this if you're looking for more efficiency. This applies to your other characters as well. I imagine your copper ore print is relatively low. I mean, 41.7 base isn't bad. You can definitely book this up and get a ton more copper ore prints just because you're doing that. We'll talk more in depth about printer in just a second. Let's actually just go through the worlds and talk about some of the stuff. Before I did start this, I did look at your keys. I'd highly recommend finishing out your keys so you can get more keys per day. World 2 and World 3 are kind of less important because you can get the keys in Colosseum, but still I'd recommend finishing the quest. Overall, finishing the quest is going to give your characters more skill efficiency because of the star talent, but also just getting 10 keys per day is a nice little added bonus, stacking things up. So you don't have to rely on going back to Colosseum if you run out of keys. You can stockpile these over time. That way you can go do V-Man speed runs. You can gem farm them. Whatever you might want to do with those bosses. Like I said, if you want to go for the capes as well, the wings, you can get more skill efficiency through E-Font. Or damage from Cheese Ores, we just learned. Anyways, on the stamps, for someone in World 6, you're doing pretty good. For someone that's at Leak Spirit specifically, I'd say 8,200 is pretty decent. I'll never tell you to stop doing stamps. Always try to do stamps. Try to aim for 10,000 because once you're at 10,000, you'll get a 100% guaranteed chance for gilded. Guaranteed chance for gilded. Gilded stamps. So you get that 95% reduction, pretty much stacking up every single day. So you can go level up your stamps, get that up to 10,000. You'll be doing pretty good there. Some stamps you may want to focus on specifically are going to be multi-tool stamp. You have enough dust motes here. You just don't have enough carrying capacity. If you're looking for carrying capacity, something you can do is actually equip Rucksack Prayer. If you have it unlocked, I believe it's unlocked through Acorn Assault. It gives you more carrying capacity, so you can eke that out. Just upgrade your bags on these characters. That way they're able to have large carry capacity for dust motes. That way you can upgrade the prayer there. Mostly you're going to be relying on Gilded Stamp and Hydrogen to kind of reduce that as you push to higher levels. Getting level 200 to maybe 210 dust mote is feasible. You just need to use a combination of Rucksack, a combination of Gilded Stamp and Hydrogen, and you'll be able to upgrade that. Base all skill efficiency is incredibly good, so getting this up even more is going to give you a ton of cooking efficiency. It's going to give you a bunch of mining, chopping, catching, fishing. I think it impacts lab as well, so if you're looking for lab EXP. I don't know about Divinity. I don't think it does anything there, but lab also does give you some stuff. But mostly the best thing here is cooking efficiency, so you can get more ladle production. On the similar vein, cooking efficiency through a ladle stamp is also pretty big. Looks like you are able to actually upgrade this, so I'd recommend upgrading this. Really good one as well. Apart from that, I think you have the Beanstalk unlocked, if I'm not mistaken, so you can definitely try to pump up Golden Apple Stamp a bit more. If you're looking for Crystal Mob spawn chance, actually, this is pretty decently high, so I don't probably would stop upgrading this for now. Yeah, just mostly focus on multi-tool and ladle stamp right now. You can also press this button here for the highlight stamp tool, so you can see which ones are green. You're able to upgrade. Go through these, see which ones you have the resources for, and just upgrade them. Just keep in mind, some of them are relatively expensive, like obviously the Capitalist stamp. I didn't realize it was misspelled. I thought it was Capitalist stamp. Anyways, the Capitalist stamp you can upgrade. It just costs a bunch of fireflies. This gives you % all stat. Again, don't be fooled. This is obviously a low %, but this does get doubled and further 1.25 multiplied through Pristine Charms, so it's a really good bonus as well for your account. Okay, let's move away from stamps. I've talked about it over and over in every single video. One thing I really want you to focus on is finishing your anvil. Don't forget these points. You get a bunch of anvil production, so you can produce things like thread, bricks, nails, whatever you might need. If you need to green stack some stuff, anvil is pretty easy to green stack. You just need to get the points done in your anvil so you can start producing those materials. So go through World 1 to World 4, get the rest of those materials for all of your characters, and spend all the points in production speed. Generally, that's what's most recommended. So you could be producing even more nails, even more bricks per hour. You could get a ton of points here through monster materials. Okay, looks like you have all the World 6 bubbles unlocked, so you're doing good here. Big ones for you to focus on specifically are going to be low-cost Mojade. You can't do this right now because obviously you're not at eggs, but when you do get there, this is a really huge upgrade for you. Another thing here, Crop Evolution. As you progress World 6 and unlock more portals, progress it on all of your characters, you're going to get more Crop Evo chance. Crop Evo chance, obviously extremely important. Other thing here, crop evo chance right here. I think this requires the purple summoning essence. So if you have that, upgrading this as well gives you a bunch of crop evo chance. I don't know what your tome is at right now, but obviously it gives you more crop evo chance for every 2,000 above 5,000. So definitely a really good bonus for you. Also, Diamond Chef's really low. You can't really do anything to force this right now, so I don't blame you necessarily for this, but when this does get to a point where you can Adamant, I'd recommend trying to Adamant. Not to a high enough level, but this is something you may want to focus on Adaming because Diamond Chef gives you a huge amount of meal cooking speed. This, combined with Fluoride, combined with V-Man's talent, is a massive increase to meal cooking speed. So definitely, when this gets to a point where you can Adamant, I'd highly recommend trying to use atoms on this, just like here and there. Like, don't use all your atoms, focus more so on skilling specifically. So I can see, based off your overall levels, skilling may be something you're lacking on, so you may want to focus on skilling a little bit more, so you can push the rest of some of those skilling vials up to level 13. Things like Krakenade, for example. Actually, there's not much skilling related that you haven't 13'd yet, but yeah, I mean, if you're looking for skilling efficiency, some of the fish. The Equinox fish, for example, gives you build rate, which is really good. White essence gauge for the Ladybug Serum. Crop evo chance is really huge. Multiplicative cooking speed. This is really, really big. Yeah, so I mean, just getting a little more skilling efficiency through the green bubble will help you get this as well. Yeah. As well, what Flash Gordon is saying, if you want to, you could try to hard focus forcing no bubble left behind to try to upgrade some of the bubbles that are more important, that are harder in resource cost to upgrade. I don't know if you have, for example, I don't know if you have multi-log up to, I don't know if your like multi-log resource chance is up to 300%. This may be something you want to focus on, but if it's not at 300%, 300% is kind of the hard cap in what you want to do. It's a multiplier to the amount of logs you produce, so you can get higher log prints if you kind of either use bargain tags and iron bars to upgrade this bubble specifically, or you can upgrade the rest of your bubbles kind of equally. That way no bubble left behind is forced to upgrade that. So you can use that to hard focus some of the bubbles that are really hard to upgrade. For example, things like Tree Sleeper obviously is going to be a little hard to upgrade, but you can upgrade the rest of your bubbles to be above level 74. That way it forces no bubble left behind to try to upgrade it if it hits like Lithium, for example. I kind of did this for, I can't remember what bubble I used this for. Oh yeah, I remember. It was Carpenter. So Carpenter, obviously, it's orange salts. No one in their right goddamn mind has like 100 million orange salts, unless you're super endgame, which at any point this is going to be atomable. So I leveled up every single bubble above the level of what Carpenter is. That way no bubble left behind was forced to upgrade it, because it chooses the lowest level of the first 15 out of your cauldron. So if Carpenter is the lowest level, it's forced to upgrade it. So that's one thing you can keep in mind if you're trying to use no bubble left behind to try to upgrade some things in your cauldron without you having to spend resources on them. It's really effective for things like Carpenter or Matty Stafford, which require salts. Salts are really hard to get. And also probably a good idea to focus on that for like trapping, for like critter resources, or Mr. Massacre for blue salts, or Kill per Kill, which uses green salts. But yeah, I mean, based off of what I saw with your 3D printer, something you may want to start focusing on is Atom Collider. You don't have Boron up at level 20, so something you want to focus on right now, probably immediately, is going to be skilling efficiency, getting Hocus Chopus up to a point where you can Adamant and spending all of your atoms there, getting Librain tools up, using your atoms here, Severe Purple, Tree Sleeper, those ones are really good to Atom as well. Most importantly is going to be the second bubble as well. These multiply sort of your skilling efficiency bubbles. So using atoms on things like Warrior's Rule, Archer or Bust, or Mage's Best is going to not only help with your skilling, but also going to help with your damage if you're struggling, because it does impact all of the small bubbles for that specific cauldron if you're on that class. So Mages, everything in small bubble in the purple cauldron will get multiplied, whatever your multiplier here is for Mage's Best. Like I said, skilling is going to be really important for you. This multiplies the skilling bubbles, Hocus Chopus, Librain tools, all those. It'll be really important and massive boost for you. So again, go back to World 1, finish your anvil, get all the points and speed, start producing nails, use your bargain tags here, upgrade Hocus Chopus up to a point where you can Adamus, use all your atoms here. This is going to give you a massive increase to chopping efficiency, which in turn is going to make it so you can print a bunch more oak logs. Oak log prints are some of the easiest materials to get high prints for, which means you're going to get more atom generation. Or atom generation means you can upgrade boron, or boron upgrades means you can upgrade your alchemy more, which means you can upgrade things like skilling efficiency and damage. So this is one of the big kind of breakpoints. Yeah, everyone kind of faces this when you're in World 6, is you hit this point where skilling becomes incredibly important because boron is incredibly important. The reason boron is so incredibly important is because of alchemy. Alchemy gives you just about everything. This combined with stamps are some of the best ways you can increase the damage as well as skilling efficiency of your account. The worse your stamps and alchemy are, the worse your account's going to be. So focus back on this. Focus on skilling. This will make it so you can start atoming things much faster. You can start getting more meal cooking speed. You can get more construction, more build rate here. You can get the max levels of your wizard towers to get you more damage for your wizards. You can potentially get more bubble levels through lithium. You can get more skilling efficiency through helium. There's a bunch of stuff that Atom Collector provides you. And the longer you wait to focus on this, your worse your account's going to be. So start focusing on this now. Start grinding out your atoms and start progressing your bubbles as much as you can. Moving on from that, again, it's another dead horse I beat quite often. Your vials are actually progressing pretty nicely. So as much as they shit on your skilling, you're actually doing fairly nice. My one big tip for you right now, it looks like you're probably doing this with your V-Man specifically, is doing the V-Man speedrun for 3D prints. So if you do your V-Man speedrun, you obviously have higher multi-kill, mob respawn rate, which all of it impacts your prints. So go ahead, focus on some of the monster materials in World 3. Get those vials up to level 13, because obviously it'll increase things like Skinny Ocal, which is actually above 100%. That's perfect. But also just increases the rest of your bubbles, which give you some nice bonuses. Most importantly is going to be material cost reduction for stamps, which is from the Platinum, as well as the Venison Mat here, which is the Venison Malt, which is the last material from World 5. This reduces the material cost for stamps, so you can upgrade things even further in the stamp pile. So like dust motes for multi-tool stamp, ladle stamp, all that stuff is incredibly important. So this file right here, I'd try to get this level 13 with your ES if you want to active farm it. I don't think you can get here with your V-Man relatively easily, so just go on your ES, try to farm this out to level 13. They'll give you a massive increase to material cost reduction for stamps. As well, something I want to talk about. I haven't looked at your breeding yet, but if you're struggling with breeding, this donut vial is incredibly good. This gives you it's a really good bonus to use if you're trying to unlock new pets and breeding. So if you're stuck right now and progressing the territory spice battles, or you don't have like some of the more important pets like Snelby, I mean, you probably have Snelby, but just to give an example, Snelby, Flashy, Sar, for example, Mercenary, that kind of stuff. If you're missing those, upgrading the donut vial will give you a new, more chance to breed new pets. So it's another way you can push breeding, is to focus on this vial specifically. And sigils, I think you're at a point where you can start focusing on sigils. Obviously, you're going to benefit from gold food effects, so really good here. Drop rate, obviously good. You're focusing on all the right important ones. My only suggestion as well, envelope pile, don't forget about this. Reducing the cost of stamps is going to be incredibly important. Like I said, stamps at all stages of the game are incredibly important, something you obviously want to focus on. P-Pod, this will make it so your sigils charge faster. You can also focus on this. Once you get those to Gilded, you can start getting things like Pipe Gauge on Gilded as well if you're struggling with Refinery, for example. Dreamcatcher is really good for skill AFK gain rate when you eventually get there as well. Peculiar Vial is really, really good. Okay, in Refinery, this doesn't look terrible. I think you're decently in range of where you're producing this infinitely. Just double check with the Refinery chart as well as Idleon Toolbox. Toolboxes give you a great visual of refinery salts. So again, it just shows everything in orange if you're underproducing something. So just double check, make sure you are inside that infinite generation. You don't want to be under generating salts and be salt locked for a while, because some tools do require salts to progress. As well as construction, obviously. Construction is a big one. I've talked about your 3D printer just briefly. I would recommend printing monster materials on your characters that are not skilling focused. So your Beastmaster and V-Men are really good for printing monster materials. Every other character should be on their class-specific stuff. So DK should be printing ores. Your Blood Berserker should either be printing ores or fishing. Your mages should be doing chopping, and your Siegebreaker should be doing catching materials. So, I mean, generally it looks like you're following that advice and you're probably just using your refinery to, so your 3D printer to print some of the materials for vials specifically. So, I mean, not doing too bad, but if you want to eke out more atom generation, again, try to stick to that, which I think you should be doing. Okay. Looks like you have some Eclipse skulls. But I would recommend before you even do Eclipse skulls, try to get your skulls up to that lava skull tier, which I believe is 100 million kills. That'll give you more multi-kill, which makes it easier to get Eclipse skulls. So do that first. Get it on all of your characters to like 100 mil, on your account rather, to 100 mil before you start eclipsing. This is not something you want to focus on right now, but just in the future when you do get to that point, think about eclipsing all of your, getting lava skulls on your monsters before you go for Eclipse. It'll make it a little bit easier because it does contribute to the multi-kill per tier that world does give you. And buildings, okay. So you're progressing the good ones. I imagine you're probably having some build rate issues. Again, a great way you can increase your build rate is going to be the Equinox Vial here for fish. So get a good print of this. Again, upgrade your scaling efficiency through Alchemy. This will help you getting that print up. It'll give you more build rate, which means you can upgrade your towers a little bit faster. I don't know where you are with Carpenter, actually. Yeah, I wouldn't focus on that. Yeah, again, just focus on scaling. If you're looking for fishing specifically, upgrade the warrior bubble, because that construction build rate is not that massive, but it does help you if you're looking to eke out a little bit more build rate. If you're looking specifically for the cog board, how to progress it, I'd recommend really focusing on skilling EXP more so than anything. If you haven't unlocked your board, obviously flag your rate's going to be pretty big because it allows you to put more cogs on your board, but EXP is by far king. Don't fall in the bait that is build rate. Build rate's not necessarily that good because if you look at a cog, the build rate a cog has is like 800 for me, like 3,000 or something. But my DKs are producing 2 billion. There's no way a cog without EXP is going to outcompete a cog with EXP. The reason because every single level you get construction gives you massively more build rate than any one single cog could. So EXP is king for that reason. DKs can push their construction level way high, which means you get incredibly high build rate every single level that you upgrade your DK. There's nuance to that, but stick to that advice. Okay, in cooking. My only thing to say here, World 6 constantly increases your meal cooking speed, especially since you're still upgrading the Firefly Vial. So keep looking at cooking, start upgrading the things that specifically mention meal cooking speed. So use like a stack of 50 to 100 ladles. Yeah, Rusty, that's why I said nuance there. Let's not talk about that. But yeah, upgrade meal cooking speed. Most importantly, as you upgrade your meal cooking speed through the Firefly Vial, for example, keep looking at cooking and start upgrading these. Again, every single level that you get in cooking is going to increase your cooking speed multiplicatively because of V-Man's talent Blood Marrow. This will massively increase your cooking speed every single level of plates that you have. So as you upgrade your plates, you're going to get more meal cooking speed. Obviously, it's not going to be a huge increase if you level up your plates by 1, but if you level up your plates in mass by like 10, 20, 50, 100 plate levels, it's going to massively increase your meal cooking speed. So these meals that are taking you like 4 or 5 hours to 3 days to 30 days are going to decrease slowly but surely, and you'll get massive bonuses to meal cooking speed. You'll be able to start upgrading this. And overall, cooking gives you a ton of stuff. It gives you skilling efficiency, it gives you gaming EXP, gaming bits, points earned in tower defense, cash for monsters, summoning essence gain, crop evo chance, more crop evo chance, damage, library checkout speed. There's a ton that cooking offers. It's a huge thing you want to focus on. So never, never, ever neglect cooking. It's really, really big for your account. Always look back to it. And yeah, breeding. You have unlocked all the territory spice battles. You're doing good here. My one suggestion, if you're still trying to unlock spices, I'd recommend putting a forager above a burger and trying to use SAR as well on the lane above your last lane. Those will help your meal cooking speed. So it looks like you're following that advice. You have a forager here, so that's impacting your burger. It's getting like triple the foraging speed. The SAR as well is contributing to the speed as well down here. If you're struggling here as well, Flashy, I believe, as well as Miasma do give you a bunch of meal cooking. Territory spice power as well, forage power. So you may want to replace some of these carrots with either Flashy or Miasma, that might increase your meal cooking speed. Sorry, I see meal cooking speed, but like your territory spice power as well. And you have arena done. Cool. In here. Not much I want to say about shinies specifically, but when you're upgrading them, shiny pet level up rate is something you want to focus on. Obviously, the faster you level up the rest of your shinies, the better it is. Bonuses for meals is really, really good. It's one of the better shiny bonuses you can get. Apart from that, I also try to focus on base skill efficiency. This also impacts things like cooking. So this gives you a ton of ladle generation as well. Think of it as on par with multi-tool stamp, and everyone everywhere will tell you multi-tool stamp is one of the best stamps in the game. Base skill efficiency here with shiny pets is no different. It's really, really good. So if you do want to focus on that as well, that'll help you with your prints. It'll help you with ladle generation as well. It's really, really good. Divinity, have all gods unlocked. Good. Alignment, I mean, if you want to help, I don't know if you have Dude or not. Based off this setup, I think you have Dude. I don't know. But if you do have Dude, one thing I'd recommend is trying to get your Divinity up to level 80. So put everyone back on Tranquil, that way you can start leveling up their Divinity. Getting it to level 80, I believe, is the breakpoint for getting the maximum minor link bonus for your gods, which gets scaled by something called Big P. So the bigger your P is, the more AFK gains you'll get, the more damage you'll get. There's a bunch of bonuses that Divinity offers based on your minor link bonus. This gets scaled by that bigger P bubble, and as well as your Divinity level. Hitting level 80 is where you hit the most effectiveness for your Divinity. So this will scale the minor link bonus up to level 80 is where your character is. So you get that 100% bonus. So get your characters up to level 80 Divinity is kind of your grind right now. So put everyone back on Tranquil, start leveling up their Divinity. You'll get incrementally more bonuses as they level up Divinity. And artifacts. Okay, how are you doing here? So I don't think you had Sovereign, but you are missing some stuff here. I mean, you're not... I mean, you don't necessarily benefit from the Eldritch for Ash and Urn, but just for simplicity's sake, I mean, unlock that. I mean, you have all the relics that are important. You have Fossary Tusk, you have 80 Tablet, you have Frost Relic, Fury Relic. I mean, you're doing good here. You have Crystal Stake even. So, I mean, you have pretty much all the relics unlocked, artifacts rather. A big one for you right now would probably be Trilobite Rock. Getting you 75% multi-kill per damage tier is really good. Damage per power 10 gold bars. This will increase your damage a little bit. Getting 30% all stats really, really good. Obviously getting more damage as well through True Lantern. So, I mean, probably progress this a little bit linearly. Try to unlock ancient artifacts. There is an achievement for unlocking ancient in your account. What is it? Star talent points. Yeah, it's all right. But yeah, probably a big one for you to focus on, just Trilobite Rock. There's nothing really here that impacts skilling specifically. So, I mean, you can focus on this kind of however you want. Gummy Orb may be something you want to focus on as well because it gives you bit multiplier. But yeah, definitely Trilobite Rock is something you want to focus on. I mean, you're doing good in summoning. If you aren't doing this, I'd recommend spamming the bottom lane. Doing this on purple, if you finish this, is going to give you another multiplier to meal cooking speed. If you want to do it on blue, you get some essence gain. I mean, you may want to do it on green as well. Obviously, keep spamming the bottom lane. It's one of the better strats for summoning specifically. But focusing on green, it'll give you artifact find chance. If you do it on purple, it'll give you cooking speed. There's some really good bonuses you stand to unlock in the next few attempts you do for summoning, if you're able to. Spamming bottom lane is the best strat, and it's how you finish summoning. People have already finished all of the battles for summoning, and they have all the bonuses unlocked because they just spam the bottom lane. That's literally it. Like, you just click on bottom. If you have a jeweled card and you're stuck on mana generation for it, just reroll. Keep spamming bottom lane. You'll eventually win. It'll take you probably a few weeks to unlock everything, but it's the best strat to do. In your specific summoning upgrades, I just focus on upgrading mana generation, getting mana overflow, starting mana for real, getting on blue, getting the mitosis upgrade here, getting slime cell split for more potential slimes as well, help you push the bottom lane as well. But definitely mana generation is king. when you're doing the bottom spam. Because obviously you need the mana generation to support you spamming. And yeah, apart from that, there's not really much else to talk about besides Crop Depot. The only thing I really recommend is upgrading things like getting extra land plots. Obviously, the more land plots you have, the more crops you can produce. Getting +1 crops obviously is technically a multiplier to the amount of crops you produce and get into your Crop Depot. Nutritious soil makes it so you have to wait less on upgrading those crops. Farming XP is nice that we can unlock better seeds. Crop Evo is obviously like BIS. It's really, really good. Product Doubler is obviously a multiplier as well. This plus Stronger Vines plus Overgrowth is how you produce a lot of crops every time you collect them. So stacking all those together, Stronger Vines, Nutritious Soil, Product Doubler, Overgrowth, all that really contributes to producing a lot of crops. So if you're struggling with crop generation, that's what I recommend trying to upgrade. Focus on hard is land plots, Stronger Vines, Product Doubler, Nutritious Soil, and Overgrowth. If you're trying to push unlocking new things, obviously Crop Evo, but generally the best form of that is going to come from your meals and cooking, but also this upgrade in Alchemy, Cropius Mapper. Obviously pushing World 6, upgrading this bubble even more is going to give you a bunch of Crop Evo chance. So there's a lot of different things you can do that. Again, go back, focus on skilling. I don't think you should necessarily focus on Crop Evo right now. I think you're decent enough point in World 6 where you can stop and focus back on the other worlds. When you focus on skilling, focus on alchemy, focus on stamps, you can healthily go back into World 6 and push the world, and then start focusing on those skills more. So once you do the skilling, once you focus on the stamps and alchemy, go back to World 6, start pushing it, and you should be good there. The only thing I want to lastly touch on is just your prayers. You have good prayer setup. Not much to talk about there. You're doing good. Yep. I think you're heading down the right track. I think your just next big breakpoint is going to be skilling. I talk about this pretty much everyone that's in World 6 kind of neglects it, but Alchemy, the Atom Collider is a really big bonus for your account. So go back and do that. You'll see some really huge gains if you keep up with Alchemy. It'll give you a ton of bonuses for your account. Don't neglect it. A lot of people tend to neglect it. Don't neglect it. It's really, really good for your account. Okay, I think it's pretty good. Overall, big takeaway, like I said, skilling. It'll help you a lot with your account. Generally, if you have any questions beyond that, feel free to reach out to the comments. But Discord as well is one of the best ways to reach out to us in the community. If you have any questions, if I don't answer it, someone else will in the Discord. You can also post your account there as well. People will also give you some pointers there. So again, thank you so much for watching. As always, in the description will be the Discord link. But feel free to guys leave a comment, like it, subscribe it. Really appreciate it. And again, thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.